We're going to head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hello, Dave. This is Larry. I love your show. I feel that the Browns are really being picked on this year because we signed Watson to that guaranteed contract. You can just see it from yesterday's game. There was 3 blown calls in that one drive. One missed roughing the passer, the stiff arm by Cooper, which should never have been called. It's never been called before on any other receiver. And now when I went to kick the field goal with the defensive lineman offsides, hitting our guys, and we get blamed for it. The NFL is out to fix us, and I don't care what anybody says. That's how I feel. Thanks for listening.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Tim Bielek, I always love a good conspiracy theory, but I'm not buying into that one. Referees blow calls. It is just the way things are going in the first 7 weeks for the Browns that those calls have gone against them.
Yeah, I understand conspiracy theories and all that sort of stuff in sports, but I think sometimes you make your own breaks. And again, a 2-5 football team, considering the Browns are starting a backup quarterback there, already the margins for error are slim. And it's tough to win games to begin with in the NFL, even with an elite quarterback. And I think with just the officiating being as bad as it is right now, and this isn't just, the Browns. I mean, you talk about, that horrible roughing the passer call. I believe it was Grady Jarrett on Tom Brady. Bad officiating. I don't think it's, specific to one or two teams. I think everybody gets victimized with it. And I was having this Twitter discussion with somebody. I think it was Eddie McDonald, Dog Pound Daily, after the game that it comes down to oversight. What the infrastructure to try and help these officials get these calls right. And I was talking about how in Canada and the CFL they have sky judges who can make instant reviews on certain penalties. Like pass interferences, roughing the passer, certain things like that. Not every penalty, but in those late game situations, especially. In those late game situations, those high leverage moments, got to get the call right. So you gotta, if you're the NFL, you gotta find whatever it takes to get those calls right as much as possible. Not every call is going to go right because again, we're talking with humans. There is human error involved in all of these things, but to not have an infrastructure or system in place where you can override calls, where someone in New York or within the stadium can buzz down the officials and be like, hey guys, you got this wrong. I just looked at it. That's not a penalty. Go back to the original play before the penalty or whatever. The fact that we don't have that and it's 2022, we've been so long in the NFL and that's still not happening. I'm just baffled by it because you would think you'd want to be able to try and do everything in your power to make sure these calls are right. And I think that's just an NFL an officials issue, and they need to figure out a way to create a system where those calls can be easily corrected in those key moments.